From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Keep individual loyalties aside because this game is not about individuals. And think for a moment tonight. TVs tented up under flyovers, crowded scenes outside TV shops, nervous folded hands in the final overs, from piggy banks to monthly budgets of homes saving up for that one ticket to a flooded cricket stadium or a cable line for a game. Cricket in this country is no ordinary matter, ladies and gentlemen. In cricket resides the faith of millions of Indians. The belief that those 11 players on the field are only playing for the tricolour, not personal glory, not as divided individuals, not as a squabbling flock pretending to herd together. And that is why today, when Virat Kohli decides to hold an 18-minute long online news conference by himself, and when there is a public slugfest between Virat Kohli's word and what the Sourav Ganguly has said, what the BCCI is saying, and what the outgoing, angry, upset captain is saying, what frostiness may or may not exist between the incoming and outgoing captain of Indian cricket, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, a fight between the two, it seems. The only question to ask is is this what Indian cricket has been reduced to? When the IPL scam happened, I was the first to say and campaign that the restoration in the sanctity of Indian cricket must begin for the sake of the people. But what we are seeing today, this open fight, is Indian cricket being thrust into peril at the hands of those who are most closely associated with it. A Virat who has indisputably contributed massively to the game. A BCCI which is today led by a legend of Indian cricket, Sourav Ganguly, by a very able Rohit Sharma and a solid Rahul Dravid, who are to shoulder this team and its pride in the future. What is collectively going on? The nation deserves to know. This is not some English Premier League where players are being traded from one team to the other. This is a national cricket team belonging to a country where cricket is effectively a religion. In a country where every selected player wears a uniform with the tricolour on it. A uniform for which prayer rooms of homes are opened up and day-long fasts of fans who have faith are undertaken. And I ask today, is this what they deserve? That the outgoing captain and the incoming captain and the selection committee are at war with each other? For what? For what exactly? To Virat Kohli, many are saying it is muscle flexing, but I'm not saying that. But the question will be asked as to why Virat did not speak about the planted stories of him not being available for selection all these days. What is going on? What is Virat Kohli doing? The questions that will be asked, that when he bowed out of the T20 captaincy, why didn't he say then that he was not asked to stay on? Why now? And if the reason for this online solo press conference was that he was told 90 minutes before being sacked as captain, people will say that, well, he claims that he found out from the media, and equally the PCCI will be asked as to whether this was the best way to go about sacking Virat Kohli, who has made an undisputed contribution to the game. What is going on? These questions will be asked now because it's crossed all lines. And they must be asked whether Virat was asked to stay on or not, because there cannot be two versions on that. They will be asked to take responsibility for this spat playing out in the way that it is. And most importantly, the people of this country need answers from all sides as to why Indian cricket is already being pushed to becoming a game of individuals rather than one for the country. Give the answers, restore the faith. Let's open the debate tonight. That's debate number one. Controversy after controversy. Open fight between Virat Kohli and the BCCI. Both sides on the debate tonight. Debate number two. Big politics over the SIT report on Lakhimpur. Ajay Mishra abuses journalists. When will there be accountability for Lakhimpur Kheri? That's debate number two. And debate number three tonight. Sidhu posts photo with Harbhajan Singh, sparks speculation of Bhaji joining the Congress. What will the Bhaji factor mean for elections 2022? That's debate number three. And here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight.
1.5 hours before the selection meeting on the 8th for the test series. And there was no prior communication with me at all since I announced the T20 captaincy decision.
Virat Kohli claims he was informed 90 minutes before being dropped as captain of ODIs.
Sir, one statement, sir. Sir, would BCCI want to respond, sir?
Saurav Ganguly silent. BCCI sources say the call was collective. So what's the problem?
देखिए, खेल बड़ा है और खेल से बड़ा कोई भी नहीं होता है. किस गेम में किस खिलाड़ी के बीच में क्या चल रहा है मुझे इसकी जानकारी मैं नहीं दे सकता. संबंधित ऐसे
Sports Minister Anurag Thakur says nobody is above the sport in India.
ऐसे यही हमारे मीडिया वाले हैं ना, उन्होंने एक निर्दोष आदमी के लिए बनाया.
His son is being probed for murder. Minister abuses journalist, lands punches on a reporter. Union Minister of State has been called to Delhi. Will he be asked to step down? And will Bhaji bowl in Sidhu's team? Can Harbhajan change the fortunes of the Congress in Punjab? What just happened in Team India is anything but sportsmanlike. Did things need to fall to this point? Could it have been handled better? Was there a need to speak out? What Virat has said has sent a country of cricket lovers into debating mode. It's Virat Kohli versus the BCCI. Have no doubt about it. It's open war, it seems, between both sides. Okay, first, let me go across to Niranjan Shah, ex-secretary of the BCCI. Mr. Shah, before I go to the other panelists tonight, this is open war. And I think the most important thing that if there is a war is for everyone to acknowledge it. Virat Kohli to acknowledge there is a war, the BCCI to acknowledge there is a war, and not pretending anymore that everything is good in Indian cricket. If Virat Kohli is at war after being dropped as the ODI captain, I think he should say it clearly that he's at war instead of doing these online news conferences. And I think the BCCI also needs to explain what really this fight is about. What do you think, Niranjan Shah?
I think what has happened is unnecessary blown out. When Virat Kohli just today said that he is available for the one-day series and he will play under Rohit Sharma, who has been made captain for the white ball, I think most of the controversy is died down. Anyway, a game is greater than anybody. The institute is greater than anybody. So even Virat Kohli is made by this institute and made by this game.
So let's not try to be too diplomatic about it. No, let's not be diplomatic about it. You are saying it has died down. It has not died down. It is very much open. If I open the phone lines, you'll realize it's open a war, open fight. Virat Kohli is accusing the BCCI. He's attacking them. He's saying that the BCCI contacted me 1.5 hours before the selection meeting and there was no prior communication at all.
Wrong there. See, you have been made captain.
What is
now
wrong?
Your job is there will be going on, and now BCCI think, selection committees think there is another captain is necessary for the white ball. Why not? Why you try to become a greater than game? That is what my contention. I think.
Exactly. Can you explain what you mean by saying greater than the game? Can you explain what you mean by saying greater than the game when you're saying in the context of Virat Kohli that nobody should try to become greater than the game? Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, 100%. Game is great, and game made you Virat Kohli. The game has made you Virat Kohli, not Virat Kohli has made the game. So I think what BCCI has taken decision is a regular decision. Always captain change after certain years. There are instances before that, so I don't think anything unusual in this whole matter.
No, so you are seeming to suggest that Virat Kohli feels that he has become indispensable, or he has a notion of being greater than the game almost from the way he's making these statements and doing these news conferences.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, I am not saying that it is a sense, but I am telling this is the reality. You have been made a captain. You have been great. You have served cricket with your ability and cricket and Indian cricket to the certain height. But when certain a time has come that you have to change something. So BCCI selection committee has changed. I don't think any unusual in it.
Okay, Niranjan Shah, thank you very much. That's Niranjan Shah, ex-secretary of the BCCI, live from Gujarat. Alan Sippy, former cricketer Ashok Malhotra, Chandrasekhar Luthra, Hemant Kenkre on one side. Chandresh Narayan, former media officer of the ICC, Himanshu Chaturvedi, Dr. Bimal Roy Soni, former deputy president of the Rajasthan Cricket Association, Harpal Singh Bedi and Karan Ambardar are opening the debate. Alan, you heard what Niranjan said there. He's saying that the sense Virat Kohli seems to be getting is that he's become bigger than the game.
Frankly, Arnab, I think with due respect to Mr. Niranjan Shah, he's on a completely different pitch here. Because unfortunately, what he's talking about, he's trying to obviously look after the BCCI, and rightly so. Nothing wrong with that because he's worked for them. But here, if you look at Virat Kohli's statement and the way he's come out, he's done absolutely nothing wrong. This man is extremely dignified. Like everybody else, he has come out just to clear the controversy that is, like you rightly said, this big controversy about him being, asked that he's not going to be playing the one-day matches and everything. He's actually come out and said, no, I'm available. This man wears his heart on his sleeve. This man loves Indian cricket and he will play really well under Rohit Sharma. So for BCCI, where they have gone wrong here, I personally believe that they should have come out and with Ganguly saying that, he spoke to Virat. Virat is clearly saying that nobody spoke to him before. It was only 90 minutes before that they spoke to him. So it is unfair for us to
I have enough proof to say that he was told earlier.
Okay, let me just finish and then you can take over. It's all yours after that. But I'm just saying what Virat Kohli has done is absolutely nothing wrong with what he's done because he's spoken from his heart. He has said, this is what I believe. I'm available to play for India. Rohit Sharma is a good one-day captain. I will play under him. And there's no controversy in that. There's nothing wrong with him coming out. Unfortunately, it's BCCI's turn to come and say something and back him. Why would BCCI not want to back Virat Kohli? He's India's captain, for God's sake. You need to back this man. You can't fight against him. Both of them, BCCI and Virat Kohli, have to work together to make India one. Arnab, you yourself said it earlier at the start of this show. You put it so articulately well that you said that This is about India. This is not about one man and not about BCCI. This is about India playing well together. So let's BCCI and Virat Kohli patch up because I think Virat Kohli has done nothing wrong.
No, I mean, you say you have proof. You say you have proof that Virat Kohli is lying. Himanshu?
Yeah, September
Yeah,
16th.
go on, counter, please. Let's have an open
16th,
debate,
We have
yeah.
enough tweet. You have statements of people. We have September 16th, we have enough statement where, Rajiv Shukla, Harsha Bogle, Jay Shah, everybody said that Rohit Sharma is the next captain. Where is the confusion? I don't understand. It is very clear. It is right and open, black and white. I haven't tweeted. It is the tweets are there. The congratulations are there. There are enough, about 8,000 replies on the tweets and the forwards saying that Rohit Sharma is the captain for both the white balls. And on the 8th again, you had so many people saying that. Now suddenly you erupt 90-minute controversy. What is a 90-minute controversy? I don't understand. Because you knew this coming much before. The secretary of the BCCI has clearly said that this is a 6-month deliberation. They had spoken to Virat Kohli about it. Virat Kohli in his own letter said that I'm stepping
he's
down
saying that
as
didn't happen.
T20. It is
No,
the
Virat Kohli is
prerogative
saying,
of
Ashok,
the BCCI
Ashok,
to allow
Chandrasekhar
me to
Luthra, all
continue
feel
or
free to
not
come in.
continue.
Hemant, feel free to come in. It's a... No, 1 second. It's quite clear that all of us cannot be correct here, right? Virat Kohli is saying that this is rubbish. The BCCI did not tell me. He's insinuating the BCCI kept him in the dark, that Rohit Sharma was going to take over, and he has gone public with it. Right? And Alan Sippy says it's for the BCCI now to decide whether it wants to work with Virat Kohli or not.
But which
This
BCCI
is
are
open
you talking
season.
about?
Himanshu, you understand? Is that Ashok? Is that you or is that Mr. Luthra?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Arnab, you
Luthra,
have
go
to
on.
understand the politics of BCCI. Virat Kohli, I am all for Virat Kohli in this matter. I know he was not consulted. He was never told whatever Himanshu was saying. That's his understanding. I knew it for the fact that he was not told till the time he said that just before the meeting, selection committee meeting, he was told exactly. So now what happened? Before that, when Virat Kohli was having his say, if you remember 2017, when he insulted along with, other BCCI chaps or Mr. Vinod Rai, the great Indian, administrator, Mr. Vinod Rai, when they insulted Anil Kumble, then he was not crying. Now he is crying because he understands it is being the captaincy or his place in the team is slipping away from him. It is a simple fact that right now BCCI is being governed by a person right now who is Mr. Jaisha, and he is silently backing Saurav Ganguly. Saurav Ganguly has no say otherwise. Let me tell you this very frankly. Saurav Ganguly is not being consulted by the two other people in the BCCI on certain other matters. But on this matter, they are silently backing him because they understand.
I don't agree with you, Chandrasekhar, not at all. I mean, no. Saurav Ganguly cannot be guided by his nose. Sorry, I don't agree. I mean,
that you will have your
impossible.
tongue.
I don't agree that anybody can guide Saurav Ganguly by his nose and make him sign a paper on decision that everybody else is making.
Let me complete my thing, okay? And if you go by Saurav Ganguly track record, if you remember when he was the captain, how he used to leak things when his problem with Greg Chappell was going on, he hided certain journalists, Bengali journalists, inside his room to hear his conversation. Right now he is doing the same thing to defame Virat Kohli. I mean, this is again politics. It's a power struggle. I don't blame Ganguly, I don't blame Virat Kohli for this. Virat Kohli should understand it is time that he has been kind of given a safe passage. Just leave this captaincy, play for your team, and maybe tomorrow there could be captaincy change in Test cricket. What will you do then? It is a signal. You have to understand the signals in BCCI.
Yeah, but what was this?
But have you gone through the 16th September mail?
What was Virat hoping to do?
Have you seen the Twitter of 16th September?
What Virat was doing, was trying to do, he wanted to be captain in ODI. There is no second thoughts about it. But the problem is BCCI never wanted him to captain. What Himanshu is saying, partly that is correct. That there were indications.
Sorry, but may I, Mr. Luthra, Mr. Luthra,
ODI, he can.
But the problem is there was no conversation between any BCCI official or the chief selector, Mr. Chetan Sharma, who again belongs to the same party, Mr. Jay Shah, Chetan Sharma. This is all being controlled by one single party. Why to cry? Why to say that there has been some conspiracy? This is the way BCCI has been run every time. When Srinivasan was there, Arnab,
Okay,
do
now,
you remember?
Mr. Luthra, I want Harpal and Karan to come in the open debate. Can I come in, please? Tell me, I think Virat Kohli is doing a big disservice. I'll tell you why. Can I just explain why? After this, if Virat Kohli says, I am ready to be a loyal soldier and play under Rohit Sharma, first you destroy the camaraderie within the team. You fight an open battle. There is an open power struggle over the captaincy. You are suggesting that the BCCI rode over you, undermined you to make Rohit Sharma captain. Then you say, I am willing to play as a loyal soldier under Rohit Sharma. I'm sorry, but this is completely destroying the spirit within the team. And I think it's very selfish at the same time. You want to ask anyone? For all these years, I think it's extreme. While the going is good for you, you're fine. Tell me, does Virat Kohli have the best record in ODIs? In terms of winning ICC tournaments, does he? Let's go to performance. There's a sense of entitlement here. Virat Kohli says, I'm upset. I'm being removed. First, you removed my favorite Ravi Shastri. We were working together fine. Now you remove me. I'm going to fight you back. I'm popular. I'm going to fight you back and I'm going to go public with it. And then I'm going to say, no, I'm a loyal soldier of the team. Of course you're not. Certainly you're not. Yes, please, take it forward from there. Who'd like to go in? Ashok Malhotra, I think, wants to.
I have a point. It's a pass. If I may add, because you can't have two white ball captains. You have to have one white ball captain and one red ball captain. And Virat Kohli, the moment he resigned as a captain from 2020 cricket, he knew writing was on the wall. Nobody's going to keep him as a captain for ODIs. So he knew it very, very well. And it is now, crying wolf kind of a thing. I understand no captain wants to go out because when they're captain, they think they own it. They're going to be captain for all their lives. The way he mistreated Ashwin. Can he deny that he didn't mistreated him? I think his downfall is thanks to mistreatment of Ashwin. So somewhere along the line, he was probably trying to lord it over and probably trying to dictate the terms. And even when he gave the statement that I'm resigning as 2020 captain, he said, I would like to be, he didn't say I would like to be, he said, I will be ODI and Test cricket captain. You can't do that. It is the job of a selection committee and the BCCI. So somewhere along the line, that also came to hurt him. So somewhere along the line, he was at fault, and I knew. And not to forget, his form was struggling. He's struggling as a Test cricketer. For 2 years, he has not scored 100, averaging 24. So when a top guy, when you're weakening, then everybody pounces on you, and that is exactly what has happened in his case. He doesn't want to leave the captaincy, but the fact is, BCCI does not want him to be the captain, and so he can't fight the all-powerful BCCI.
No, I have one point. This
okay, I take your point. Karan wants to come in. Mr. Kenkre wants to come in. Harpal Singh Bedi, yeah.
Yes, this 1.5 hour business is a big joke.
I'm listening.
That I was told by 1.5 hour before that. I don't know what he means. He should have been told 2 months back, 3 months back. Suppose you have called me to a program and you tell me this is the program and these are the people and this is you will be discussed. Because I'm taking part in the program, you tell me these are the dignitaries who are coming, these are contributors or the people who will be on the stage. After that, after the whole thing is done, you will tell me, now Mr. Bedi, at 10 o'clock you will not be coming. That means what program I am entitled to, you have explained to me what I'm going to do to that program. But at 10 o'clock I am not needed. That is what the selection committee told him. Selector told him that, look here, you are here as a red ball captain. They discussed the team with him, everything. After the discussing the team, the selectors who had to select, whether they were directed by Saurav Goswami or whether they were directed by Jay Shah, selectors told him that you are no longer the captain of ODI. What is wrong in it? Now, if it's 1.5 hours or 2 hours or 3 months, whatever is there, He was simply told that he is not needed at it. And remember this thing, he is trying to challenge the establishment. Whatever you may say, that who is running the BCCI. BCCI has never tolerated, since time immemorial, any challenge to its authority. Be it Pataudi, Wadekar moved him. Be it Wadekar, Bedi removed him. Be it Bedi, Gavaskar removed him. No captain, I repeat, no captain has gone with grace. Because this is a problem. Nobody wants to deal with it. So, and you are challenging today what Kohli has done. He committed cardinal saying he has opened the Pandora box. He has directly said, Saurav Ganguly, you are a liar. Now, whether we do not know, neither I have inside information how it works. Exactly. But you have challenged, you have told the captain, you have told the BCCI president that you are a liar. Now, remember one thing. Saurav Ganguly is not an ordinary player. You may say Jai Shah and others. Saurav Ganguly is a captain of India, a man who gave new direction to Indian cricket. Most of the players owe everything to him. He was the man who showed India how to play abroad. This is a fact. Now, you are telling that fellow that you are a liar. Even if he has said, we do not know. And you to say that Jai Shah is running, this is wrong. It is Saurav Ganguly. Today removed the Saurav Ganguly. BCCI's FS will
That
crumble.
is the point. You know, I'll tell you.
He is giving the respectability to BCCI. But remember one thing. Now what today, Kohli has said, he has thrown a gunter that Mr. Ganguly, you are a liar. Now it is, I don't know who is a liar, but this is a big thing which I think Ganguly will not forgive so easily.
Yes. Well, okay, so Ms. Harpal, one point here, the way I read it is, exactly what I think, just coming to you, Mr. Kenkre and Karan, just coming to you, one line from me. Sure. I'm not the cricket expert here, but what I sense here is that someone told Virat Kohli that if you keep making public statements, if you offer to quit, all of Indian cricket fans will rise up for you and stand behind you against the BCCI. There will be tremors. You're extremely popular. So somebody has gone to Virat and told him to go to war. And Virat has gone straight like Don Quixote towards the windmills, waving his sword. He's going into war. Right? And I think where he's doing a wrong thing is he's completely undermining Rohit Sharma.
No, I don't know.
He's completely undermining Rohit Sharma in the process.
No player worth his salt has ever been able to challenge BCCI. Be it Gavaskar to Tendulkar. Be it Ganguly
to That's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing. Hemant, what's going on? Hemant, this is disastrous. You know, what's happening is disastrous.
Yeah, it is a disaster. It is a disaster.
But Arnab, it's an ego hassle. It has been going on for years. It's history repeating itself. You know, it was a Pataudi, Wadekar, Kapil, Gavaskar. That's going on for ages. Two big guys, when they are on top of the game, they don't say against each other anything in public, but they're always undermining each other. And we know that. Although they know their job, they do well for themselves, they bat well for themselves, and that means batting well for the country. But in the end, everybody knows in the team that there's a two sides. It's divided in the middle. The team is divided in the middle. It's a fact. You know, it has been going on for a while. You know, so it has come out in the open.
Where is this whole? You know, the whole. Okay, so Hemant. The public statement of Virat Kohli in simple English is, I am Virat Kohli. How dare the BCCI replace me? I have a following. Does not matter if Rohit Sharma is the most successful skipper in the history of IPL. I am Virat Kohli. Doesn't matter if Rohit Sharma has led India in 10 ODIs so far, winning 8 and losing just 2. Doesn't matter if Rohit Sharma has a 180% success record. I am Virat Kohli. Doesn't matter if Rohit Sharma brings home the Asia Cup in 2018. I am Virat Kohli. You know this, I am not understanding. Why are heavens falling if he's replaced as captain? Hemant.
Well, no big deal, but there should be some dignity in telling him, you know, when he's dropped. I mean, you don't declare the fact that Rohit Sharma is going to take over as captain by giving a 2-line aside after you give the selection, when you select the test team. And I think the way that BCCI handled it could have been better, if I may put it that way. Number 2, yes, Virat Kohli is a brand. See, today it's not about cricketers. It's all about being brands. It's brand Kohli, it's brand Tendulkar, it's brand Rohit Sharma.
No, it's about performance.
So the earlier question. It's also about performance, but also it's brand at the end of it. Don't forget that, because there's so much of money riding on you. So when you ask this question sometime back as to why,
If you are in team, you are brand only if you are in team, my friend.
I agree.
If you are in team,
but
you are a brand.
There is.
No, absolutely.
Exactly. I agree completely. But I think somewhere down the line, I think the onus is spy versus spy. Who's right, who's wrong, we don't know, as Harpalji rightly said. But I also believe that there should have been some slightly better way for the BCCI to have told Virat Kohli that he's not in the team. In the sense, okay, whether they said it, not said it, it's all up in the air. It's all kite flying at this point in time. Nobody really knows, who is right and who is wrong. But the way that the BCCI declared it, right at the end of the press release that they sent.
What is wrong?
Which in any case,
means
I don't think that's the way to do it. I mean, somebody who's led your team for so long, the test team.
No, what was the way to do it?
They lost but I think the better way should have done it is
if you have declared a war. It is like declaring a war against the BCCI. You can't get. I agree with Mr. Bedi, because if you declare a war against the BCCI, the president of the BCCI, then I don't know how long you're going to survive. And not to forget, the insecurity of Virat is also coming in, because he is batting at number 3 in T20. With Rohit as a captain, it might be Surya Kumar Yadav who's batting at T20. Virat might be number 4, and if top 3 bat for 15 overs, it might be Rishabh Pant might be number 4. So he might be missing his batting order also. So I feel there's a little bit of insecurity also in whatever he's ranting or whatever he's raving. The fact is, he knows his career is on the line.
Bimal. Yeah, Bimal Roy Soni, we are discussing this huge fight that's broken out. And I think the saddest part about this fight is that Virat Kohli has launched a battle against the BCCI, and he's trying to be diplomatic about it. I mean, there's no diplomacy. He's at war. He has declared a battle. It's going to get global headlines that Virat Kohli has declared war on the BCCI. I personally, if you ask me, I find nothing wrong with replacing Virat Kohli as the ODI captain when the current teams, which have split captaincy, like England, Australia, South Africa, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, do not have 2 different captains for white ball formats. They only have different captains for Test and 1 captain for T20s and ODIs. So I don't know what is.
Well, I am very clear.
What is Virat protesting about?
Once he had given up T20 captaincy.
Yes, Bimal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When he had given up T20 captaincy, I am very clear as a cricketer that one day and T20 captaincy has to go to one person. He's sticking on as Test captain.
Absolutely.
I was sure that Rohit Sharma, if he takes the 2020 captaincy, one day also Kohli would be replaced. But for him to give this comment, and of course, the selectors could have taken a decision one day early and told him that, look, we are changing the one-day captain also. So, I mean, that is, of course, 90 minutes is an excuse which he has made, but board also should have taken a step one day earlier and then called the selection meeting for the team. So, as far as selectors could have met and decided on the captain, informed Kohli and then taken over it. But for him to say this, that I was only informed 90 minutes, but he has to be dropped as captain. Somebody else to take over when he is himself not wanting to do 20 captaincy. One day also will have a new captain. He is continuing as Test captain. So this is obvious in cricket.
Is he doing this because of the brand angle to it, Karan, that he believes in his power as a brand? Is he doing this because he feels as a brand he can challenge the BCCI? Karan?
I am sorry. The game is much above brands.
This has been good.
The game is much above cricketers. BCCI is much above cricketers. If they get this wrong impression, then I think that's their Waterloo.
Okay, Karan.
Look, Arnab, this has been going on for a long time. This confusion, this has become a saga of Virat Kohli versus specifically Sourav Ganguly. You started the show by talking about the fans who saved their money for that one ticket, and what a mockery of Indian cricket has been made today. I mean, a sitting Test captain has given a press conference stating that one of the best captains of the country and the guy who laid the foundation of the Indian cricket team is a liar. It all started 3 years back when Sourav Ganguly was heading the selection committee, coach selection committee. And apparently, reports suggested that he wasn't happy the way Kohli dumped Kumble and opted for Shastri and insisted upon getting Shastri as the coach of the Indian team. Then, of course, a couple of months back on this very show, we were discussing the sudden resignation of Virat Kohli after the T20 World Cup team was announced. And now this. There's a lot of speculation game happening on social media, as you mentioned. Sides are being taken, and anybody and everybody, some of them on the show actually, said that they're making it political. I don't think you should be doing that. Having said that, there are a couple of questions that need to be answered. Who at BCCI suggested or wrote that Virat Kohli is not available for the South Africa ODI series, and why did Virat Kohli wait for so long to clarify this and clear the confusion? Second thing we came out of the story is that, as you mentioned, it's a out and out Virat versus BCCI game now. Another question that rises is that Virat Kohli, he says the 90-minute question, he's outright telling Ganguly that you're lying. And I can't believe that
he's telling
such confusion has been created in the dressing room, in the minds of the players. Sorry?
That's what Virat Kohli
did. Luthra is saying something to you. Yeah, one second.
In the minds of the players.
And the moment Rahul Dravid was appointed coach, the signal was very clear. Virat, it's time to go. It's time to leave this captaincy. So why cry now? I mean, I'm all for Virat Kohli that when he's saying he was being told only 90 minutes before, that is correct. That is not a lie. But the point is Virat Kohli should have taken this earlier, should have understood that his time has come. The moment Sourav Ganguly had his way by appointing Rahul Dravid.
No. One second. Chandrasekhar Luthra. Mr. Luthra. Mr. Luthra. What my problem with your argument is this. My problem with your argument is, Mr. Luthra, you are trying to suggest, and you've said it repeatedly, and Chandresh Narayan can come in, we'll get Chandresh and Harpal on one side and Chandrasekhar Luthra and maybe Alan Seppi on the other. What you are saying, Mr. Luthra, is that poor Virat's time was up when terrible Ganguly took over as BCCI chief. Poor Virat, great Virat, biggest brand Virat, became a victim of Ganguly's entry. To which my counter to you is that the person you are putting as a person who's been targeted by terrible Ganguly is also the person who is not in any form in any of the ICC tournaments. India has not won any ICC trophy since 2013, right? And in IPL, his team was never triumphant in 14 editions of the series. As a batsman, please, let's look at performance, Alan. As a batsman, he has not scored a century in 50 innings in international cricket. His last innings was in 2019 during the day-night test, that also against Bangladesh. No, let me tell you the reality, Since you're all saying, he's a victim of machinations of Ganguly, is Ganguly responsible for the fact that he's not performed? Is Ganguly responsible for the fact that Virat has not performed? Is Ganguly responsible for the fact that Rohit Sharma has performed much better than Virat Kohli?
Can I get in?
And basically Virat Kohli is saying, people of India, the people of India and BCCI owe an explanation to me as to why I have been removed as captain. That's the thrust of the argument. Chandresh.
Arnab, thanks for having me. I feel that the dressing room was drifting away from Virat since the time he left Australia and the team won in Australia. And you could sense that the team was going away from him. And the fact that he stepped down as T20 captain, if you read the press release that day, Jai Shah said that we've been talking to him for 6 months. But Sourav Ganguly said it came as a surprise to him, which means that Sourav was not aware of it. So he's not in the loop like Chandrasekhar ji said. And also one more thing, with regards to the past 10-15 days or the past 2 years, the bane right now is the lack of communication from the BCCI. There's no one single spokesperson who comes out and speaks. There are multiple people who are speaking as sources, And the day the story came out that he's quitting the white ball captaincy, there was strong denials from sources and on record. And when he actually resigned, the same people put out a quote saying that we've been talking to him for some time about it. So I think that all round this has been a complete mess. I think today Virat was tactless. He should have handled this much better. A smarter Mahendra Singh Dhoni or a Rohit Sharma would not have handled it this way. Like everybody said before me, taking on the BCCI is like death wish in terms of Virat Kohli, because it's at that stage of his career when this particular test tour becomes very important for him. If they don't do well, if they don't win, you could well be seeing Virat Kohli no longer being India's test captain as well, because he's taken on the BCCI right now. I think it's been an all-round mess, complete all-round mess from the BCCI side, complete lack of communication, and from Virat Kohli's side, it's been a sense that the dressing room is drifting away. Let me grab hold of whatever is left.
I'd like to hear from Alan.
I'm surprised. No, just a minute. I'm surprised that Chandru has said this. Chandru is such an experienced person who is with BCCI and IPL. BCCI has always been a mess. No captain has gone with grace. And whenever they went, there was a mess. It is not the first time. And it is not going to be the last time they are in the mess. The problem is that when players start thinking that he's about the institution, here is the problem. And we are all talking. We are fighting in air. We do not know what has happened, who talked to whom and who doesn't talk to. Your assumption that Saurav Ganguly said this and my assumption that Jay Shah said this and Luthra's assumption, it doesn't work out. The simple fact is that Rohit Sharma is captain. Simple fact is that Kohli is refusing to accept the fact that he is, because 6 months back, if you accept Kohli is to be removed, it was a blasphemy. You would have been removed from the program. Your anchor would have said you are a madman to talk about Kohli being removed. Now he is being removed. That is a fact. Now, the discussion here should be, Kohli said Saurav Ganguly is a liar. Whether he's a liar or not, that is the discussion. Nothing else. The fact remains Kohli is no longer
I think what Virat.
The fact is, it is between
okay,
Virat
Alan. You know, I think after all this, it becomes extremely difficult. I wonder what the dressing room will be if Virat has to play under Rohit Sharma after doing all this now. I really wonder what the dressing room will be like.
I can tell you openly on that point. The dressing room will be absolutely fine as a cricketer. Can I just talk now? Can I get a chance to talk? Because, let me just explain. Because it seems to be that here everything is against Virat Kohli. I'm not saying that he's done everything right. There should be harmony. I'm trying to just explain one point. There should be harmony between BCCI and Virat Kohli. If anybody on the show talks about Virat Kohli as a cricketer, I'm telling you openly right now, and you can quote me on this, that in months to come and years to come, this man is going to reach his peak as a cricketer. This man is an outstanding cricketer. So don't write him off at your peril. You're writing him off at your peril. He's an outstanding cricketer. So there's no argument on that front. He can play one day, he can play T20, he can play Test cricket. As far as cricket goes, the man, we should not even try to attempt to say this boy is fit or whatever. My point is, there should be some harmony. Let me just finish this point, Arnab, please. I've been waiting patiently to talk on this point. My point is that the BCCI, yes, Virat has handled this slightly wrong by coming up and saying this, but what could he do? He's a human being after all. He came out just to clarify one simple point. The point was that I was not spoken to before that. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we are trying to vilify him. We are trying to criticize him. All BCCI has to do now to keep the peace and the harmony. And there's nothing wrong with this. All they have to do is just come out and back the captain. After all, BCCI need to back their captain. He's playing for the country. They should back him, and that's it. Nobody's against the BCCI. If there's a war between the two, BCCI will no doubt win. So I don't think Virat Kohli is trying to fight them. All Virat is trying to say is that nobody spoke to me. That's about it.
Alan, you are confusing the issue. Nobody challenging.
Nobody spoke to me.
Unfortunately,
1 minute.
Many years ago.
Can I get Karan in on this? Yeah, Himanshu or Karan, who goes first? 1 minute. Yeah, Himanshu.
Yeah, I want to know that who waged the war, not the BCCI.
Okay.
See, who waged the war? It is Virat Kohli who's come out and he's started the war. BCCI has not answered at all. They're quiet. They're not answering. They're not saying anything on it. And I want to ask a very simple question, that when things were good for Virat, he was quiet. If he was declared a captain 90 minutes before a series, he would not have made a hue and cry about it. So as long as it is in my favor, I don't speak anything. The minute anything which is against me, I'll make a halla gulla. And as Arnab said, that because I'm a big brand, I am going to go public and sabotage the entire ecosystem of cricket.
Hemant.
So this is not the way you should be doing. You are not supposed to be pre-informed that whether you will be captain or you will be dropped, whether you will be in the team or you will be dropped.
Hemant.
You have selectors, you have faith in them. For so many years you had faith in them, and suddenly one decision and you throw them out a window.
No, one thing is quite clear here, Hemant, that whether he may not like it to be presented that way, but Virat has undermined the fans, undermined the sport. He's put himself first. He knows, as someone who is constantly in the media, in social media, and please, I completely agree with this. Why did he not say this before? Because, he says, I had not had any communication with the BCCI that I want to rest, he says. Why didn't he announce this earlier? He's constantly on social media telling people, how they are littering. Absolutely. He has used the social media to call out trolls. He's very active on social media. It's not like he could not have clarified sooner. The fact of the matter is that right now, Hemant, he has said, I come first. He has said, I come first. He has said, mood in the dressing room, in the team, impact on cricket, impact on performance, be damned. I have to fight this battle and win it out. It's quite clear, Hemant. Maybe he's been egged on by someone to do it, but he has done it.
Absolutely. Let me put it this way. You want to drop him as captain.
Arnab, if I may come in on that one.
Rightly said that you absolutely have to get the same white ball captain for both formats. It's absolutely right. All I'm trying to say is that the one day tournament is not going to start very soon. They could have taken a little bit more time, maybe discussed it with him better. And all I'm trying to say is that the BCCI could have handled it much, much better. So there's this entire controversy wouldn't have occurred the way it had, the mess, like the spy versus spy situation, which has happened unfortunately today. That's all I'm saying. And transparency has been BCCI's bane from the beginning. You can speak to any media person across time. They will tell you that historically the BCCI has never been transparent. Why is the chairman of selection committee not being exposed to the media? Why aren't we hearing from Mr. Chetan Sharma why Mr. X or why Mr. Y has been picked or not picked?
But tell me, first of all, you say everybody has a right to spend time with family, but he says, I'll take a break in January and that he will miss the ODI series. What kind of sources were relied on to say Kohli had asked for a small break in January, that he would miss the ODI series? Bimal? And now that you lose the captaincy, you suddenly turn around and say, Bimal?
What are the sources?
He never said that.
Why isn't BCCI
Arnab, if I may just add a quick one line in it.
BCCI should be transparent. Why need sources to talk about it? Let's get the secretary, get the spokesperson out there and speak to the media. This is what Chandesh is saying. And this is what all we are saying is the same thing.
Everybody's planting stories left, right and centre.
You need to be transparent and go up there and say what you have to say, which BCCI never does, unfortunately.
Arnab, there's something very interesting
to know.
That is...
Arnab, can I come in, please?
If I may just add, Arnab. So, unfortunately, something similar happened. A controversy revolving around captains and coaches happened. Unfortunately, ironically, actually, two of those guys who were involved that time are also somehow a part of this confusion again, which is Ganguly and Dravid. And, what happened that time, both of them were not on the team anymore, not leading the side anymore, and a young captain, young player was made a fresh face, was made the captain of the Indian cricket team, which is Dhoni that time. So, we are going to be
repeating itself in a way. No doubt about that.
Drastic changes happening in the Indian cricket team.
But I think that Virat Kohli was. I'm completely out of time. I think Virat Kohli is playing it on the edge, and I think if the BCCI has thrown him off the edge, he only has himself to blame. On the other side, ladies and gentlemen, there's a big political controversy over a minister called Ajay Mishra, whose son is being investigated for the Lakhimpur Kheri massacre. He's been caught on camera attacking the media now. Can he stay on as minister? Big debate on the other side.